Brother Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade. 1, 2, 5.
Please, sir.
3.
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, tell 'em turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last warning, I'm gonna see go. I am not afraid of the storm that comes my way. When it hits, it shakes.
Thank you. Thank you. I like not knowing what's going to happen. I like making memories. Sometimes I do all this crazy around my colleagues just so that they can tell their friends I did it. But rather than talk about myself, just briefly, I want to just talk about my genre. Stand-up comedy is an incredibly American genre. I don't think any other country could produce this many comedians. And unbeknownst to many people in this audience, I don't think there's opinion that it exists in this country that is not represented in a comedy club by somebody. Each and every one of you has a champion in the room. We watch you guys fight, but when we're together, we talk it out. I know comics that are very racist, and I watch them on stage, and everyone's laughing, and I'm like, that mother means that. Don't get mad at them, don't hate them. We go upstairs and have a beer, and sometimes I even appreciate the artistry that they paint their racist opinions with. Man, it's not that serious. The First Amendment is first for a reason. The Second Amendment is just in case the first one doesn't work out.
That was Dave Chappelle. Gotta say, that wasn't just a laugh track.
No, that wasn't. That was kind of real.
That was a very real thing. He even got Jon Stewart to clap for him,
which is rare.
That was like, a very real thing.
Yep. Because it's true.
It's true.
True. It's true.
It is true. But people don't think about it like that. They don't understand it like that. They're not going about it like that. This guy is literally, he's made his millions and millions and millions and smoked up half of that.
Yeah, well.
Minimum.
In younger years.
Yeah. Not even in his younger years. Pretty much now. He's
now. Now it's glaucoma.
Sure, right.
Allegedly.
Now it's half legal.
That too.
That's the only difference now. It's legal.
Basically, what happens when it becomes legal? You're like, oh, I can do this now. Yay!
Not a problem now. Yay!
Outstanding.
But
he makes a good point.
It's a very good point. It's a solid point. It's something that people don't pay attention to or understand very often.
Mm-hmm. It's a common thing. He didn't even actually name it per se.
No.
But it's something that we have definitely said it, but
we've talked about it. Yeah.
Well, I was say we've mentioned it before. It's a little thing called respect. Someone else's opinion, and for someone else, it's different. Even as he mentioned, there were blatant racists, open, hardcore racist people,
and he knows it.
And they agree to disagree, have respect for one another,
realize the artistry in which they do their racism.
Yep. And then they go have a beer and
everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
It's like, that man is a racist and he hates people, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You can't change his mind.
Right.
we are so hell bent as at the social level of trying to
Make everybody the same?
yeah, exactly. Go from being because they will and what's funny is these are the same people who will very quickly, oh well, America's the melting pot, and we have all these different people, these different walks of life, and blah 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 blah. But you have to think like me,
Right.
and
No diversity in thought.
no, and that diversity in thought is what keeps a nation alive.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you start down the road of a singularity, then all of a sudden, what's the point? There's
none.
There's no
drive.
Yeah, there's no drive. There's no challenge. There's no point.
Mm-hmm.
And before long, we become Rome.
Or we become MSNBC.
Well, and that's it's a hard leap to get to. Yeah. But yeah, poor MSNBC. Just when you thought that they could not
Get worse. Well, okay, so here's where I saw this article, and obviously the headline is one of those grabbers, right? It's one of those ones you look at, and it's, delete your network. And it's talking about MSNBC, and it's like, okay, why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they failed to do the first piece of journalism, which is after you get a story, or I guess the second step. After you get the story, you verify.
Mm-hmm.
They forgot to verify. And so,
mm-hmm.
and so what they did was they ran with a piece of Iranian propaganda about American casualties from the, quote, bombing. The quote, airstrikes.
The alleged.
The airstrikes on the military bases.
Yes. The ones that were done in retaliation for us droning Suleiman. Or Soleimani.
Yeah, it's Soleimani. No, Suleiman's the guy from
Suleiman was from Jack Ryan, but
Yeah,
it is the same guy. It's just
yeah. Soleimani, General Soleimani, that guy.
That guy at that place with those people.
Yeah, see, MSNBC's host, Chris Matthews.
Isn't he just like the poster child for journalism?
Mm-hmm. He was joined by
oof.
Yeah, he was joined by NBC News' Tehran's bureau chief correspondent Ali Arouzi.
Hashtag nailed it. Hashtag like a native.
Yes, when they were talking about how many Americans were killed, saying that 30 Americans were killed by the missile strikes, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the problem. I listened to the president's speech today.
I did too.
Well, at least the first 5 minutes, and we started laughing about how he
said tourist.
Tourists.
It was tourist. It sounded. I was looking at him, watched his mouth move, and I know my brain responded in hearing the word terrorist, but my ears heard tourist.
Yeah. I saw the mouth say terrorist.
Yeah, but that's not what came out.
Right. So
at all. At that point, I just broke down. I couldn't listen anymore because the serious moment was gone, and it was. I mean, he was being
serious, and he was being stern.
Serious,
and
he was very direct, and I from what I caught was it was very presidential. It was
basic. It was basic presidential speech, right?
Yeah, it's the thou shalt we're going to lay down the law, and we're going to say what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, but within the realm of not actually
right.
Trying
exactly. That's
start anything.
Exactly. So MSNBC states all this. Well, like we said, we were listening to the first 5 minutes of the president, and
no less.
No. He said there were zero casualties.
Yep.
Zero. Absolutely zero. Zero casualties and very minimal damage to the actual bases.
Okay.
So, after MSNBC released this whole news story, they were quickly hit by the Politico because they shared unverified Iranian propaganda with their viewers.
Iranian propaganda, you say?
Yes, Iranian propaganda with their viewers, American viewers.
We're so hell-bent on making sure that Trump was doing something wrong,
Right.
that they found a story that fit what they wanted, and
They found a narrative.
in their in finding the narrative, they were so excited
Yes.
that it agreed with them. They couldn't hide it because they ran with it
That's right.
and just threw it up on the webs and started talking about it without verifying a single thing.
Yes. And they have been thoroughly slammed by pretty much every big news agency person out there and every news person that's not MSNBC that's on the Twitters. Just like beating the mess out of these guys left and right. Like, I can't believe they did this. MSNBC, how terrible. You guys are stupid, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But and it goes with what we opened the show with.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom of speech.
Yep.
Now, did they get it wrong? Yes. And should they correct it? Yes.
Yes.
And is it right for these people to go and say that they did it wrong? Yes. But delete your network? While I hate their network, delete it?
Yeah, that's kind of the angle and the direction everybody wants to go. It's the same thing as when someone says something that you don't like, you get violent. This is the way of Antifa. I don't like what you're saying, and therefore I'm going to punish you. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to attempt to kill you.
Right.
I'm going to silence you in however way I can because I don't want to hear what you have to say. And I just it blows my mind just how they will be the first people to turn around and complain about their rights being infringed, that they aren't getting to say what they want to say and believe what they want to believe and live how they want to live. But they will be quick to deny someone else.
Yes.
Who just simply says, I don't, it could be something as simple as I came from a different background.
Sure.
And I just don't see and understand it that way. It could
doesn't make
literally
sense to me,
a city folk as opposed to the country folk kind of thing.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And you have the one deciding it's time to kill the other one just because they never experienced it that way.
Right.
Instead of taking what that person has to say and at the very least having respect for the fact that they lived their life or have done something or are just different from you. I mean, it's different if you catch them out there, bludgeoning, newborn puppies in the back of the head with a billy club.
Or babies. Or just babies.
Or babies, period. Yes. I mean, it's something that's obvious and clear. But if you have the conversation of, well, I don't agree with gay marriage, or I don't agree with a woman being able to abort a child, or I don't agree, whatever it is.
Right.
Just because you don't agree doesn't mean it's inherently wrong.
It's just that you don't agree. Now let's figure out what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah, or at the very least, come to some kind of agreement. Because if you start making people into enemies, then you're never going to heal anything. I mean, this is like marriage counseling 101. This what the first thing that they tell you in premarital counseling for marriage and everything else is, when you have an argument, the point of what you're supposed to do is you don't make the other person feel like they're horrible crap. You don't talk down to them. You don't be ugly at them. You treat them with respect. And the key is to find a compromise, not change the other person's mind.
Correct. And it's the whole thing where you actually go to you go down to their level and you reach down and you say, here.
Yep.
Let's start here.
Yep.
Whatever level they are, wherever they're at, you go to them and you sit down and you talk with them. Now, when it comes to Iran, there is no talking
No,
to
they're
Iran. There is none of this. And we found out that, guess what? When you do a drone strike on their general, they're going to fling a couple missiles, and then you're going to say, I have a much bigger stick. Would you like to see it? And they're going to back down. Because that's what happened today.
That's true.
They backed down first.
Yep.
They hit the bases, and almost immediately after they hit the bases, what did they do?
They ran.
They said, "Oh no, we're done. We're fine. Everything's good now. We're okay.
We're even.
We're even. We blew up a couple areas that were somewhere around your base. Nobody died, so we're good.
Even Steven.
Right. Thank you. And so that alone tells me enough.
It does.
And when it comes to your First Amendment rights, you know, they have it right over here on the MeWe's. Rocky. Hot Rocky with a U. Japanese sex bot. Says, it's the InfoWars argument. You know, their stuff may be silly and crazy and, you know, bad shit off the wall.
Yeah, I was
but
going to say.
They have a right to be stupid.
Yes.
Dare to be stupid.
Yeah. Look, we are. This show is a perfect example of that. We're
very good with being stupid.
Oh yeah, and not just like in the silly haha yuck it up, you know, find the first toilet joke we could find.
Oh no, more like I am willing to, you know, play the devil's advocate and be the stupid guy in the.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say though, like you and we're not, by standards of society, we're not properly trained radio.
Right. You haven't gone to university.
Yes, we don't have a 4-year degree in broadcasting. We haven't paid our dues at some, you know.
I don't know. 3 years. I mean, 3 years.
Yeah. Well, no, but we came at it from a different angle. But it doesn't change the fact, you know, we have the right to say and do however we want to, and at the same time,
as long as it doesn't hurt somebody else.
Yeah, within the limits of our standards, and then we allow everyone else the exact same thing.
Right. That's kind of where the Constitution kind of dictates. You know, these are the rights that are protected, and this is why they're protected, and protect them.
I was listening. It's gonna take it back a little bit. I was.
Oh gosh.
No, it's not that bad. No, I was listening to I have an album I found on Spotify of like it's a total collection of like all of Bing Crosby and the Andrews sisters collab together, and they actually did a song. I think it was called the Freedom Train. And the reason why I'm thinking about this and it sticks out in my head so much is that there's actually a part in there where it talks about, you know, they go down the list of like, you know, the Republicans and Democrats are all different and blah, 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 blah. You know, we may not agree with each other, but we will defend your right to be able to. And they sing that's part of the lyric. We will defend your right to be able to say what it is you want to say.
And that you're wrong about it.
Tell you you're wrong about it, but by God, you're allowed to say it.
You can be just as dumb as you want.
Yes. Look at that Canadian feller. What thinks he should be a man and have his genitals.
That one. You can be just as wrong as you want.
Just as wrong as you want. And I'll tell you, you're a moron and you're mental in the head and everything else. You have well, not in Canada. You're Canadian, so it doesn't count.
I mean, blame Canada.
Indeed, blame Canada
for all their hussy hullabaloo.
Because Department's mom's a big fat heifer.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, if you didn't notice, you are listening or watching Defenders Live, DOAEshow.com, DOAEshow.com. We are on the Mojo 50. We are the dumpster fire of the Mojo 50 radio station. You can listen to us live Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm not going to do Central, Pacific, or all the rest of it because it doesn't make sense for me.
Just do the math. It's an hour.
2 hours, 3 hours, whatever way.
However far away you are from the East Coast.
Exactly. But you can check us out. And if you miss us live, you can always check us out on the podcast. It's amazing. It's good times. Check us out there. On everywhere.
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 Stitcher, SoundCloud,
iTunes, all the rest.
On the iHeart Radios, under the Mojo 50 Radio banner. You won't be sorry.
Yep.
Well, you might. I can't make that promise.
Right. You might be sorry.
There might be a point of it you come and go, why the hell am I listening to this dribble?
These people are crazy and stupid.
God bless them. Hopefully they don't procreate. Oh, wait. Oh, poor Steven.
I've got
The
4.
damage has been done.
Yep,
So
that's already there.
So speaking of the Irans, there's been a hashtag.
There has.
Well, yes, there's been a lot of them. But there's a hashtag that's been circulating around. It's I vote for Clinton. Or I voted, voted, past tense, for Clinton. This kind of popped up after the whole debacle. Well, that's not debacle. The whole hullabaloo with Iran has started down. The hashtag I voted for Clinton trended Tuesday night and Wednesday morning as those who proudly voted against Donald Trump expressed their moral superiority in the wake of Iran's missile attacks on several Iraqi bases hosting American troops. There's a teensy little problem.
Right.
With that, though. Clinton, referring to the Hillary Rodhams, Clinton, also had a very aggressive Iran strategy that included the possibility of a major obliterating, quote-unquote, attack. The hashtag began trending Tuesday night as word broke that Iran had retaliated against the United States after killing the Iranian Major General Qassem Soleimani in a surgical attack.
Right.
That happened inside Iraq last week by targeting U.S. military stationed in Iraqi military bases. There were no casualties, as we have said before, and has kind of caused tensions to rise just a teensy with a little bit. But anyway, quote, many Twitter users
just a little bit.
Who have voted for the former Secretary of State claimed they foresaw much of President Trump's foreign policy's decisions, end quote, according to The Hill. Quote, users also implied that if Clinton had won the 2016 general presidential election, the possibility of war with Iran would not be a topic of discussion. My conscience is clean. I saw the danger of Trump. I begged folks, especially Bernie bros, that if they threw away their vote, they were putting this country in moral danger. Mortal. I'm sorry, I can't read. One user tweeted, attacking not just the President Donald Trump supporters, but also the supporters of the Senator Bernie Sanders, who refused to cast a ballot for Clinton in 2016 and made claims that the former New York senator rigged the Democratic election.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, we voted for intelligence, we voted for experience, we voted for respect, we voted for dignity, we voted for justice, we voted for love.
Wait, sorry. Oh.
That was another tweet.
Oh, wait, are we talking about Hillary Clinton here?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Hillary Rodham.
Rodham?
Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Rodham?
Yep.
The Rodham.
Roadham.
You're saying the Roadham? People that voted for the Roadham also voted for peace and love?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they say. That's exactly what they say. There is a teensy little problem. Clinton's attitude towards Iran has always been one of aggression. While running for president in 2008 against the then Illinois Senator, the Barack Obama, Clinton backed, quote, massive retaliation, end quote, against Iran if the Iranian regime attacked American interests abroad or launched a nuclear strike at Israel. Quote, I want the Iranians to know that if I am president, we will attack Iran, end quote. That was Clinton during your interview with Good Morning America.
So what you're saying is the exact same thing that happened now was what would have happened.
Yes. And that she's a big fat liar.
Oh, well, there you go.
Liar.
That is a bombshell right there. And with that, we'll be right back.
Color me shocked. Dun, 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 dun.
Jeez.
What?
Nothing work-related stuff. Tell you after
Oh.
the show.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I just heard it going ding, 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 and I'm like, oh man, oh man.
My phone's literally been blowing up since the show started. It's like,
I know. I keep hearing it. It's,
I'm sorry. At least, you know, it can't be that bad.
well, apparently it is.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Welcome back to Fitters Live, DOAE show. That's DOAE show. So the Hillary Clintons, all the rest of it, it's hilarious and so many things. For some reason, Whiskey Six is texting me instead of actually, you know, sending messages over anywhere. But
Instead of being direct to everyone, he's
sending messages to us. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Why would you send direct messages to us? That doesn't make any sense.
he's exercising his connections.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. It's that whole I've got connections with the talent. So
Yes, I'm sorry that I was concentrating on my phone, which is in my left hand, mainly because I've been getting bombshelled with text messages.
Oh, good stuff. So, anywho, so we're back.
Yes, we are back.
So the left,
Yes,
they're pissed.
they are. Aren't they always?
I know that's that's nothing new. But no, they're kind of PO'd at one of their own. Or they're getting PO'd.
Wait, what do you mean? Who are they getting upset at? I mean, it's the left.
I know. You would think the party of love and peace and we're all about our fellow man would maybe not be douchey to each other.
Right.
Logically. So Senate Democrats have grown very wary of the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi.
Pelosi.
Penicillin.
And
no, that is not right, Frank.
What?
That is not right. That picture is left only for Bill Clinton.
Whoa.
No.
Steven.
That is only a Bill Clinton picture. Do not do that. Never again.
Wow.
I know I'm svelte, but that's not the point.
No, look at the legs.
I saw.
You know that's not real because the legs are too long.
They're way too long. It's obviously not me.
You're not that tall. Anyway, the Senate Democrats are a little frustrated with the Nancy Pelosi's current strategy to delay the impeachment trial of the president in the Senate by withholding the transfer of articles of impeachment passed by the House last month. After Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell announced Tuesday that he had votes to start the impeachment trial without an agreement on witnesses. Many Democrats finally recognized that their attempts to sway forthcoming impeachment proceedings in their favor had failed. Darn. Dang, darn, darn.
Dang.
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 According to the Politicos, some of the speaker's fellow Democrats have begun to publicly call on her to submit the articles and get on with the trial. See, who do we have here? Senator Dianne Feinstein.
The Feinsteins.
It's Feinstein.
Stein.
All I can think about now is Mel Brooks, the young Frankenstein, not Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Quote, the longer it goes on, the less urgent it becomes. So if it is serious and urgent, send them over. If it isn't, don't send it over.
Right.
Pausing right there. She hasn't sent them over.
So then it's not urgent.
Ta-da!
So what's the problem? Frankenstein.
Fronstein.
Frankenstein.
Be weird to. Wouldn't it be weird if her name was like because I believe it's properly enunciated Feinstein. Okay, but wouldn't it be weird if it was the IE next in the beginning and the IE at the end were two different sounds?
That really would
like
be.
Feinstein.
Feinstein.
Yeah.
That would be great.
ADHD moment. Apologize.
Sorry.
Homeschooler jingling keys moment. Several other Senate Democrats have showed their impatience with Democrat leaders' current strategy. Senator Joe Manchin from the West Virginia said Wednesday during morning that the Democrats should, quote, move on, end quote, and turn the articles to the Senate. And Senator John Tester of Montana said he is ready for the trial to start. Quote, we need to get folks to testify and we need more information. But nonetheless, I am ready. I don't know what leverage we have. It looks like the cake is already baked. End quote.
They're baking cakes now.
So
What type of cake is that? Is that yellow cake? Is that?
I don't know. It is West Virginia after all.
Well, I figured it might have been uranium. Because, it's radioactive.
Oh, good Lord.
Can't take me anywhere.
I respect the fact that she is concerned about whether or not there will be a fair trial. But I don't think it's time. But I do think it's time to get on with it.
I don't think it's time.
Senator Chris Coons. The Delawares. Yep. Chris Murphy, Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut.
The
Conads joined the growing chorus, telling ABC News that he thinks, quote, getting the trial started sooner rather than later is, probably important.
That's probably a good thing. That's what they say.
Yeah, they keep having this thing where supposedly they have all this information, all this evidence that, the president was had an abuse of power and blah, blah, blah. And I wonder, how is anything that Trump has, allegedly done, how is that abuse of power, but paying what was it, $14 billion to Iran in cash on pallets
That's not a problem.
in the middle of the night.
Not a problem at all.
How come that was not an abuse of power without any kind of
No, I mean,
approval from the people
I mean,
at
come
all?
on, not a problem at all. What are you talking about? what
That's
is
not-
it? Are you like what are you? What are you? What is this?
I'm just I don't care. It's not if Trump actually did something wrong, then he does need to be in trouble for it. And I'm not trying to go, well, he ain't Danny. Why can't he get in trouble? I would like to see just some consistency here.
Consistency.
I would like, that's all I ask for. That's all I honestly ask for when it comes to any of this crap. Is I would like some consistency. Please, for the love of God, if what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Right.
If you could have this president doing whatever, because it works anytime for everything else. That's why they call it setting a precedent.
Yeah, because the moment that you said it, that means there you go. This, from here on out, this is how we do this.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. Na, 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 na. Okay.
Na, 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 na. Sorry.
But all they're doing is complaining again, and we've touched on this before.
Nah.
We're gonna just handle
Briefly,
it all.
we're gonna glance over it again.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Graze it, right?
Yeah, we're gonna just brush by. Technically, we are officially in election season. Okay.
No.
Yes, November 2020 is election. The actual next election for the presidency of the United States.
No,
That
no,
is
no,
now-
it's not. No, it is not.
11 or 10, that's 10 months away. 10 months away.
You lie,
I don't,
sir.
My
You-
homeschooling got me at least that far.
You are a liar that lies.
A lying liar that lies. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Ma-
See?
no,
And
no,
you
not this time. No, in about 10 months is when this is supposed to go down.
okay. 10 months.
Even if they brought this stuff on and did all this trial and everything else. One, he clearly has not done anything bad enough that will have him removed from office.
Of course not.
So he will stay there until the end of his term, which is at the very least is another 10 to 12 months.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
So that's that.
It is that. You are correct.
That's if they come up with something that actually could be guilty and they can pin on him.
Which they can't.
Legitimately, they can't. That's the other thing. Because they can't, because they're hemming and hawing and they're pulling at strings and trying to find stuff that works, this thing drags itself out for months and years.
Forever.
It'll feel like it.
Well,
And
it is.
and the end result is you have nothing that even if he was convicted of abuse of power or whatever they're trying to say all this stuff is,
or whatever.
or whatever it is, it's whatever. It's a nothing burger.
It really is.
But if they had something and they threw it out there, he still would be removed from office. No, it's just a giant show. I just don't understand why. Usually they do this kind of stuff as a way to draw attention from something else. The problem is I can't figure that out because it's not actually to make Trump look bad. If anything, it's just reinforced his base, especially, and has brought other people from their own party to leave.
Right.
Because they're not following through.
Yeah, when you don't follow through on one, your threats, and two.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I understand that, after a while you do kind of, shoot yourself in the foot and, eventually start to believe your own crap, and they're self-destructing. And when they always say drastic times call for drastic measures, usually when that is involved, that means there's a lot of emotion, very little logic.
Yeah, which is normal.
It could just be very simply that the left is so wound up, so paranoid, so out of it, that they literally are just doing whatever they feel emotionally they just latch on to do, which is to try and impeach the guy so they can feel somewhat, I don't know, clear conscience or whatever, that they've done something because they hate the man so much. That's all it is. That's all it is.
That is all it is. I mean, they don't like him, and it's
Not even a little
TDS.
bit.
It's TDS.
Yep.
It's
Brown
TDS all
man,
the way.
orange man bad. That's
Orange
all
man bad. You said brown man bad.
I know I did.
Racist.
Seeing if you were paying attention.
You said brown man bad. You
did.
racist.
So.
But you know that can't be as bad as college math.
I can't hardly do kindergarten math.
I know.
Homeschooling and all, AI.
Right.
I don't have those skills.
Yes.
So any math is bad math as far as I'm concerned.
Well, in this college math course, a professor has asked his students for ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Ideas on how to advance.
Advance?
Mm-hmm. Social justice in math books.
Why?
For those understandably confused as to how exactly social justice might relate to the study of math.
That would be me.
Okay.
I just
Topaz, which is, well acclaimed, highly acclaimed.
Oh yeah,
Topaz. They offered a few ideas,
Oh, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was a gemstone. I really didn't know.
No. Free text, social justice content, required inclusive teaching.
Inclusive teaching.
All components in the book, proposals, right?
Uh-huh.
So the teacher was like, just go nuts.
Just go nuts, huh?
Just go nuts.
What do you mean, just go nuts?
Just go nuts and find out, Just try to make as many of these as possible.
I have a question.
Sure.
So I think it's a simple question, but
Right.
maybe it's not. So if you have 4 apples
Yes.
and your wife asks for 2,
Uh-huh.
that leaves you with 2 apples left.
Wrong. That leaves me with 4 because it's my wife.
Touche. Well, you got me there. I got, for the argument's sake, that you have 4, she comes to ask for 2, and she gets 2. How many do you have left?
2.
It's 2.
Right.
That's
Unless
math.
you're doing Common Core math, which is 7.
Okay, but still. So either way, even if it is Common Core math and the answer is 7, what does that change at all? Does that number change or anything change if you find out that it wasn't really you, but it was like your doppelganger who happens to be, say, a gay illegal immigrant?
Does that have anything to do with me?
Does it have anything to do with the problem, the math problem?
Oh, no, it's still 2.
How?
Still 4 minus 2 is 2.
So it doesn't
Right.
change. The properties and none of that stuff change.
Right. The facts
Because
don't
of-
actually change based upon who was doing it.
Oh, you don't say. So then enlighten me. Is there any reason as to why, then, is it so important that the math books, the textbooks, are socially acceptable? It
Right.
doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a little bit. I've asked this question for a very long time from a lot of different people, and teachers too, and they don't get straight answers, and so I just quit asking. But it doesn't make sense to me. When matter of fact, a lot of the social stuff that people worry about nowadays that are going on now, the gay marriages and the transgenderisms and even like abortion and everything else, the math problem. Jane has 6 dogs. Tim has 4 dogs.
Right.
How many dogs do they have total?
Mm-hmm.
They have 10 dogs together. Does the answer change if you were later to find out that Jane has had an abortion?
No.
Or used to be a man?
No, because Jane can be a man's name.
Well, there also is a
Just
boy
like,
named
right, there's a boy named Sue and also Ashley and...
we know it, Ashley. But yeah, but that's kind of my point. That we're focusing on the wrong, and this is something that is scaled on. It's not just in the textbooks. They're not just trying to push this into textbooks. This is stuff that goes on in life everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The problem isn't that these two men want to get married, and that's just those are not the problems. The problems are much deeper, and we're not actually making an attempt to figure out what the problem really is. We're just scratching the surface of some kind of byproduct that is stemmed from it. And it's sad that we are literally killing ourselves, being douches to each other, all because you want to be right instead of actually finding out what the problem is and attempting to fix them, come to some kind of compromise. It's weird how that works out.
It really is. It is amazing how that works out. Speaking of compromising, you don't have to do that for most things in your life.
You don't?
No.
You
At least
sure?
not when it comes to coffee. You don't have to compromise when it comes to coffee.
I love me some coffee.
You see, you can have a company that respects your privacy.
You can.
A company that makes wonderful flavored and non-flavored coffees. And a company that pretty much gets it. They're jackholes just like you. APR coffee is amazing. Not only are their flavors just astronomical. I don't know how he flavors them or how any of this works, but he does a great job. They roast their own beans. They flavor all of it in-house. It's all done there. The mastermind behind it, Dave Matthews. Not that Dave Matthews.
Not that Dave Matthews.
Dave Matthews. An amazing guy. Great character. And right now, APR Coffee has decided that they're going to give you, brand new listeners, a free bag of coffee. Now, how they're doing this is they told us that we have to pick somebody.
Yes.
So here's
is that at our discretion?
Right. So here's what we've done. Follow us on Twitter.
Yes.
That's DOAE Show. That's at DOAE Show on Twitter. Follow us on Mojo50 Radio. Do those things, and you'll be put into a drawing at the end of the week. Now, here's I know, kicker. There's potential chance that we're not going to be able to make it onto the radio for the next 2 days.
Yeah, well, there's a slight business trip that we have to...
Slight business trip, emergency that happened, and we have to go take care of it.
Yeah.
But we're still going to be drawing at the end of the week.
Yes, the name will be drawn, the winner will be notified, and we will make the announcement on Monday.
Exactly.
For sure. And another caveat, it just occurred to me, and the way you'd said that, I don't know if we said it this way or not, and but it made me think we might need to clarify this. We need you have to obviously be a new follower on Twitter.
Right, new follower.
For at DOAE Show or Mojo50.
Oh, excuse me. There you go.
The reason I had to clarify that is because the way it came out a second ago, my brain thought it was like, wait a second, what if somebody is already a fan of Mojo,
but not a fan of us?
Not a fan of us, and then goes, well, crap, I've already got the one, but I'm not the other. I was not qualified.
Well, make sure you get them both.
We want both. We obviously want both. We were trying to help grow Mojo. We're trying to get the brand out there, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
But if you happen to be one of the people who are already following Mojo, but maybe not following us, or vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa.
It still counts. It still counts. So any new follows
to the DOAE Show Twitter Or the Mojo 50
Mojo
Twitter.
Either between now and Friday.
Will be put into a drawing, which we will do on Friday. You will be notified by direct message.
Yes.
And on Monday, if we're not here on Friday, on Monday we will announce your name.
Yes. And the upside to it is, like I said, you get the free bag of coffee. It is
or your Twitter handle anyway.
Yes. We'll find a way. We'll reach out to you. You'll be notified properly.
Right. You will be notified properly, and a free bag of your choice will be headed your way from American Pride Roasters. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. APR coffee at AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
I'm going to get mine this weekend. I got to make a new order. I will be doing that Joker on Saturday.
Doing that Joker.
I know. I need it. I briefly had to settle for a not APR coffee for the past.
I'm sorry.
Bit.
So, not to take us off the topic of APR coffee or anything, but
Uh-huh.
you remember all of those people that were saying that they were going to like move to Canada and move to Australia and move to Europe and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You know, Michael Moore and O'Connell. And yeah.
Are you into rap?
Shame they never went.
Are you into rap?
Look at me. I mean, seriously, look at me.
I'm just okay. Do you know
what part of me? Hold on. What part of me?
The hoodie
expresses to you that I do not like rap.
Oh, your haircut?
That's racist, sir. Anyway, go on.
Everything about me makes people surprised that I've listened to rap ever.
Son.
Okay. So it's all right. I understand. So there's a female rapper.
They're letting women rap now?
Yeah. Female rap artist, Cardi B. Ever heard of her?
I have.
The Cardi B's.
I don't like her.
Well, there's a lot of reasons not to like her, including her music, but she was prior to being a rapper, she was a stripper, who would, hold
on a minute. What?
Yeah, she was a stripper, and if somebody showed a lot of interest to her, she would then coerce them back to a hotel room where she would drug them, take all their money, and leave. This is something that she's bragged about live on TV.
Yeah, so this basically she pulled she paid I'm trying to word this properly. She pulled a Bill Cosby.
She pulled a Cosby on guys.
Only she was
took their
taking money for it.
Right, she didn't do sex. She just
robbed
got money.
Yeah.
Yeah, she drugged them and then robbed them.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
I guess so, because she's a multi-million-dollar rapper now. And she wants to move to Nigeria.
Did she open an email from a prince?
No, apparently.
That is? I bet you that's what it is.
She said that, specifically, she she doesn't like how everything's going on. Actually, I can't quote what she said. Because it's, nah, these memes are boop and emojis, but ain't no joke, especially being from New York.
Hashtag nailed it.
Thank you.
Like, I thought for a moment that Cardi was in the room.
I was just there, just doing it. Ooh, so good. Talking about Trump tweets, talking about Trump himself, talking about the bombing and everything else. And so she decided that she was going to say that she wants to move to Nigeria, to which Nigeria replied, "Our doors are open."
So she's moving.
Maybe. Probably not.
Huh. So does she think that she's going to still be famous and have the ability to live like she lives in the United States? Only in Nigeria?
She could live like a queen there.
Not if she doesn't save her money.
Well, it depends.
They don't listen to a whole lot of raps over in Nigeria because a lot of them are, looking for food.
That is a problem. That could very well be an issue. Yes.
They don't have time to listen to the Cardi B's.
No, not while they're trying to find food. Anyway, we
Yeah.
have some bell counts for the day. We're going to get to it now.
Good evening, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with your bell count grade for the day, Wednesday, January 8th, 2020. Today we had 12 missed innuendo bells, 36 actual bells, 4 rim shots, 3 wah-wahs. Give us a C for the day. Peace out and good night, y'all.
Remember, guys, you've been listening to the Defenders Live, DOAE Show. DOAEShow.com is the place to find us. Mojo50 as well. We'll see you tomorrow.
That was wonderful.
Right, y'all.
I loved that. Oh, it was great. Well, it was pretty good. Well, it wasn't bad. Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good.